Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming. You can see we're back here with F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, episode 19 today, and we are reaching really close to the end of season 1. Obviously, since the new game is coming out so soon, I'm not going to be doing another season of My Team Career. I'm going to end it at the end of season 1, and yeah, we're just filling in the activity timeline now, getting some work done. I did have to change the sponsor decals because for some reason they weren't there last episode or something. So yeah, I've done the sponsor decals now, and I want to show you guys the championship results because you can see in Italy we got second place, and we didn't have any video for the Italian Grand Prix because the recordings got deleted. And you can see the championship results. Obviously the last race out in Japan was a bad race for us. We only finished 7th after qualifying in 14th. It was absolutely terrible, and it did make a big dent in our fight for 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. But now you can see we're gonna go to an invitational event, which I'm really looking forward to.
Now, while today's classic exhibition event has no direct impact upon the Formula One World Championship, you better believe that with their reputations on the line, the drivers down there are still hungry to show that they've got what it takes to get a win.
This 2006 Renault F1 car was a championship winner. Fernando Alonso won a 2nd title in this car, and I can't wait to drive it. I mean, it is around Russia, which is not the best circuit, but it's not my favorite circuit, and yeah, most people don't really like it that much. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a great challenge in this car. Obviously, you can see the rear end of this car is really twitchy because it doesn't have as much grip in the tires. It doesn't have as much downforce, but it has a more powerful engine when compared to today's F1 cars. And yeah, we're gonna have to catch up to these classic cars. I think we only have 3 laps to do it, so it is a proper challenge. We have to get this done quick, and yeah, I can't wait to see how it goes. And by the time we get to around halfway through the first lap, less than halfway through the first lap, we've already caught up to the first car. You can see he actually makes it quite difficult to overtake him, but we get past easily. Way older car. I think that car's from the 1980s if I'm not wrong. Same lap, we go down the inside, make a bit of contact, ride the curb, and then down into the second part of the chicane. You can see, yeah, we did make a bit of contact, not as clean as I hoped, but the AI left absolutely no space, and that was a massive dive bomb. So yeah, there was a huge dive bomb. Now up in a P3, now we're gonna chase after the P2 car. You can see we're losing grip on the rear tires. I'm still not fully used to this car as we make a huge dive bomb down the inside. I think it's the brakes. I'm used to the brakes, but I think it's the throttle and the traction that I'm not used to. But yeah, we did get a collision there. It is very difficult to overtake these AI. They do not leave you space. They do not make it easy for you to go past. But you can see on the final lap of this race, we easily get past, and we've pretty much completed the challenge. So we're coming through the final 2 corners. You can see the rear end still very twitchy, still not fully used to it. But yeah, we come across the line. I feel like it wasn't the most difficult challenge, but it wasn't easy either. But yeah, it was a good mix, and we get some good benefits out of it. We get $150,000 and 1,000 acclaim, which is pretty good for us and pretty good for the team, pretty beneficial. But yeah, invitational event done. Now we're gonna forward through time. Now is the time that we have to start focusing on the race weekend. This is where we focus on the main task, because we had a pretty bad race weekend last time out in Japan. We finished only 7th place, and that's definitely not where we want to be. But now in the USA, I feel like we're going to be much stronger here because this is more of an engine oriented circuit, and I feel like our car will generally be a little bit more stronger here. So that's why I'm looking forward to this race weekend. You can see practice 2, we finished 2nd, while our teammate Jordan King finished in 12th, which is still an improvement, by the way. Jordan King is still, like, you know, he's like an 18-19 place driver, but he's finished 12th in this practice session. It might be a good thing. It might just be false because of some of the medium runners, but yeah, it's been overall good so far. Coming into qualifying, we get some good team acclaim, we get some good resource points that we're definitely gonna use. Might not use it now, but we're definitely gonna use it at some point. And yeah, some tips from Jeff about the circuit. I think he's talking about the last couple of corners of the circuit of the Americas. I think that's where you can gain and lose some time, and definitely the first sector. I really love the first sector of the circuit, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. You can see I don't think I'm gonna use any resource points now. I might use them for a couple of adaptations, but yeah, I think I'm gonna save up a little bit more, and maybe at the beginning of next episode. Actually, I do purchase a new upgrade, and this is a no. I actually thought I'm gonna purchase a new upgrade, and there's a notice that came. This notice is telling me I'm gonna have to adapt this part after I get the upgrade to adapt the part. So yeah, this is one of those parts that I need to adapt after upgrading. So that's a lot of resource points, and I'm not completely sure whether I'm gonna go for it. But then I decide, you know what, it's a major upgrade. I think we're gonna be able to use it. I think we should be able to use it. So that's why I'm gonna go for it anyways. You can see we have around 304 resource points, still enough for, I think it's only one adaptation, and I actually do the adaptation and I say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead with the upgrades. I didn't think initially that I was gonna go ahead with them, but yeah, then I decided, you know, I have way too many resource points for them to just sit there. I need to get these upgrades done as fast as possible. And now we head into qualifying, where this is going to be really crucial. Qualifying, we got to do really well. We got to make sure that we get a good starting position for the race, and I don't want to qualify too high up the order because it's easy to lose positions here because of the overtaking opportunities, but I don't want to be too far down the order. So yeah, I'm looking for like a medium position, maybe P5 types, or if I get lucky P3. That's a good position so that I can be in a position for a podium or maybe even a win. But yeah, we go out now for qualifying. You can see we're coming through the final corner, don't quite hit that apex coming out of the final corner. Now we open DRS down the main straight. You can see max fuel, and I actually forgot to replace an engine component. I just realized at this point when I was in qualifying, when I'm racing, I'm like, oh my god, I totally forgot to replace that engine component. I think it was last episode we did struggle with that engine component, and yeah, I don't think I replaced it this episode. But yeah, coming out the final corner again, we didn't quite hit that apex, come across the line. It's an okay lap. It's quite far off Bottas's lap, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna push a little bit harder on the second lap and try and get a better lap in. You can see Carlos Sainz in the McLaren is faster than us. That is not a good sign. We're supposed to be way faster than the McLarens, but we're actually behind one of them, so that is not a good thing. That means I definitely need to go out and do it again. You can see didn't hit the apex again, but it was still a better exit, better entry from the final corner. We're down into P9 now, so we're really off the pace. We're really far from where we should be. So yeah, I'm gonna push even harder through turn 1. You can see though there is a bit of a problem with traffic. You can see Lance Stroll, he's giving me a bit of dirty air on the exit of this corner, and I've caught right up to him, and I'm gonna use the DRS now. I'm gonna use the slipstream, so now the slipstream is gonna benefit me. That's good, but in the corners when he was holding me up, that's not good. But we pass him on the main straight now, and we're coming into the final sector. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this towards the end of the second sector, and now we come through the final corner. You can see we gain time a little bit. We gain very little time, 0.018 seconds gain. That's still not enough. That's definitely not enough gain, so I need to go do another lap, see how that plays out, because I could still feel that in these tires there was still some time to be gained. There was still some life. You can see you come through the final corner, get a bit of a track limits warning, but we're pushing to the absolute maximum, hit that apex beautifully, get the power down on the exit. We come across the line up in a P4. That was a way better lap. Still far off the pace. I think half a second around. We need to gain around half a second, but we definitely did way better in that second lap. And now on this final set of soft tires, fresh tires, I'm gonna go for a final lap and push it to the absolute limit. You can see we did have some encounters with traffic, but we pushed so hard on this out lap that we actually managed to make it through, but we couldn't catch up to Danny Kvyat, so that might be a problem, especially in the first sector. I hope he doesn't hold me up or anything, but yeah, we're gonna see how it plays out. Down into turn 1, you can see we didn't get the best exit because we're already in the red, but when we're coming through turn 1, immediately we gain time in the braking zone, and the exit as well, we managed to maintain that time gain, so we just need to maintain our gains. But now there's gonna be some serious problems as we make contact with Kvyat. We hit his rear end. Luckily we get no damage. We're sliding around now. We make a huge dive bomb down the inside to get past him. He really held me up so much. I could have gained so much more time. I was already so far up on my lap, and now I've just lost some time. So much time I could have gained if he wasn't in my way. Now I'm serious. I'm quite mad now because the AI definitely did not get out of the way, even though I'm way faster. We come out of the final corner, open DRS, we come across the line. The session is over, so we're gonna have to wait to see where we qualified. It's P5. So we're P5 on the grid. I mean, I would be happy with that, but I'm disappointed because we could have been way higher up the grid. We had so much more pace. Look at that. We could have gained a 1/10 of a second and we would be up in around P3, maybe P4. But yeah, we could have been way higher up the grid. we could have had a much better chance at doing better in this race. So yeah, I'm really disappointed. And in the end, Kvyat only qualified P16, so it wouldn't have hurt him to get out of the way. So yeah, that's really, really annoying, but that's just how the AI are. They don't get out of the way for you. So yeah, it's just a fact. We're just gonna have to deal with that. You can see Max Verstappen did get pole position, so that's not good for a rivalry. But heading to the race, we're just gonna get our head down and focus and do our best.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what I wonder is in store for us today. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Falcon, Sebastian Vettel, and Sainz, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Perez, and Lando Norris, Ocon, Albon, Lance Stroll, and Gasly, Magnussen, Kvyat, Roman Grosjean, and Kimi Räikkönen, Giovinazzi, Russell, King. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So now that we're starting in P4, my plan has completely changed. I'm absolutely gonna send it. So I'm gonna do the best I can to finish as high as I possibly can as we go to 5 red lights for the US Grand Prix in season 1 of our My Team career, and it's lights out and away we go. You can see Hamilton gets a good getaway, but we get an even better getaway using ERS, using the slipstream from Bottas. We go down the inside into turn 1, 3 wide, we run wide at turn 1. You can see we're going off the track. We're side by side with Lewis Hamilton. I think that's actually Bottas we're side by side with, but through turn 2 now, coming into turn 3, we're definitely ahead through turn 4, and oh, Bottas is spinning! Bottas spins out of this race. Oh my god, there's absolutely insane yellow flags behind. Don't think there will be a safety car, but Bottas spins on lap 1. That is a huge AI mistake. Huge AI mistake, and that helps us a lot as we go on to lap number 2 now. Hamilton is behind us 1.5 seconds because he did get held up when Bottas was spinning. The cars behind Bottas probably had to brake a little bit so that they don't crash into Bottas. But yeah, we get a bit of an early gap to Hamilton, but I don't know how long that will last because we go on to lap number 3 and look, he's already on our rear end. All the cars behind setting fastest laps. Sebastian Vettel with the fastest lap right now, so they're all flying as DRS gets enabled. That's all good for us because Hamilton is definitely in DRS range as we come out of, I don't know which corner number it is again, but yeah, we're coming out of the corner down the back straight now. You can see we're using ERS, using rich mix, trying to get Hamilton out of our slipstream, because down into this corner, this hairpin, Hamilton can really get an advantage if he makes a dive bomb. It'll be very difficult to defend here if Hamilton gets a dive bomb down the inside, so that's why I need to keep my eyes out. The battle has begun. On to lap number 4 now. You can see we're getting green sectors. We're going fast, but not fast enough because Hamilton is still gaining. Even down the short main straight, he is gaining, so that's why we got to be very, very careful. One advantage we have is the dirty air, because if we nail the exits properly, we can try and, you know, make sure that the dirty air has the worst effect on Hamilton so that it's better for us. Even through this first sector, we run wide, and you can see Hamilton side by side now through the left-hander and up the hill. You can see we got so lucky at that right-hander as we go into hyperdrive, but at the right-hander, I think that was the exit of turn 5, we completely lost it. We had no front-end grip, and that was a huge problem. But now down this back straight, you can see coming down this back straight, we're going as fast as we possibly can. We're using ERS, but Hamilton, he's got the move down the inside. We go into turn 12, he's got ahead of me, and he's actually fully ahead of me now, but we need to find a way to get back past it through turn 13. Now we make a huge dive bomb. That is not really an overtaking spot. Turn 12 is an overtaking spot, but Hamilton managed to get past us, and my heart was in my mouth there. I was like so scared because I thought I'd lost the lead of this race. I really want this win. I really want this comeback after the horrible Japanese Grand Prix we had. I really wanted this comeback, and now I'm gonna fight for it. Currently we are just managing to stay ahead of Hamilton. You can see he's trying to get into our slipstream. He's trying to get past us. He's trying to find a way to gain time on us, and he does gain time on us, especially in the last part of that straight. But yeah, in 8th gear, DRS really helps a lot. And yeah, Hamilton is really feeling those advantages, and I'm feeling the disadvantage. As you come through the final corner, you can see we get a really bad mid-corner speed. We get a really bad mid-corner understeer, and Hamilton has the run on us down into turn 1. We try and get in a slipstream. We make another audacious dive bomb. You can see down the inside, it's so powerful to dive bomb at turn 1 because the track is so wide. You have so much space. You can just absolutely send it, and that's something that's absolutely amazing about the circuit. You can see we're cutting through the S section now. Cut to, I think, towards the end of the S section. You can see Hamilton again. He tried to get past us. He has so much of a advantage. I mean, his car is just so much quicker. He has so much more grip. His engine is definitely not worn out. Our engine is so worn out. It's really a disadvantage. But yeah, we're defending for our lives here. But through, I think, turn 11 this is, yeah, through the hairpin, we get a good exit. Use overtake mode. Use rich mix. I fill the car with plenty of fuel to make sure that I can use rich mix as much as possible. And yeah, this is the part where we have to be really careful, because you can see Hamilton is gaining like crazy with the DRS, and he's probably using ERS as well. But yeah, the Mercedes is absolutely pushing. He's keeping me honest, and you can see we run wide. We get a huge wall of understeer, and through that corner, I'm not sure what the corner name is. I think that's turn 15. But yeah, on lap number 6, we come into the pits. We barely defended through turn 15, and yeah, that was very difficult to defend. I really need this pit stop because these tires don't have enough grip. That's why I'm getting so much understeer. These tires, they're dead. And now go onto a fresh set of medium tires. It's actually quite a slow pit stop. 3 seconds, and oh my goodness, we had to go through Hamilton. So Hamilton actually gained time in the pit stop. That's why if this was real life, we would have collided with Hamilton. But yeah, the car just ghosted through because that's how it works in the game. And one advantage we have is that we got around 2 or 3 cars, which is traffic between me and Hamilton. So Hamilton got a bit of traffic coming out of the pit lane, which helps us a lot, especially because one of them is our teammate. As we make a huge dive bomb down to turn 15 on Antonio Giovinazzi. We made it. That was I'm actually very happy with that overtake. That was a nice dive bomb. Did the same thing to Kvyat in the qualifying. But yeah, we're coming through turn 1, lap number 8. You can see Vettel does a huge overcut on me and Hamilton. Now Vettel is right there on my rear end. No traffic between me and Vettel. And yeah, Vettel actually did a really good strategy. I think he was flying on those soft tires. He pitted a little bit later, I think 1 or 2 laps later, and yeah, that's just really good for him. And meanwhile for us, things are going from bad to worse because now our engine is going. Our engine is really worn out. I should have replaced that part. I think the only reason I didn't replace it is either I forgot or I decided not to because of the grid penalty. But yeah, I think I totally forgot about that part. But yeah, now we have to defend for our life again using ERS. We're not using rich mix yet. I think it's still in standard mixture. I'm not going to use too much rich mix because I don't want to burn my engine out. But yeah, we have to be really careful as we get another wall of understeer. We're a little bit too wide down to turn 11. We're defending for our lives, and Vettel locks up and goes straight on. And we just did a dream switchback there. The switchback of dreams. Wow, that was crazy. Yeah, that was so sudden. I mean, down into turn 11, you can see through turn 10, I went a little bit wide, and Vettel got the run down the inside. I pulled out to the outside, let him lock up, and then did that switchback. Wow, that just felt amazing doing that move. And I think that lockup from the AI might have helped me because it made a little bit of a gap. Not much of a gap, but it was enough to keep him out of that all-powerful slipstream. He was still there in the slipstream, but it wasn't as powerful as it normally would be. As Antonio Giovinazzi now is out of the session, you can see his car is gone. I think, yeah, there's smoke coming out of his engine. That's race over for the Alfa Romeo. I don't think there will be a safety car, because yeah, for that kind of incident, there's not normally a safety car. There's not going to be a safety car. But yeah, Giovinazzi out of the session. We're on to lap number 11 now, and this is really important stage of the race. We're in the last few laps, and you can see our tires, again, the medium tires are starting to lose the grip now, so we need to be ultra careful. We got to do things like that. Like the thing we did at turn 15 was actually really good for us, because we held up Vettel a lot. We extended the gap a little bit, so we can be a little bit smart with our racing, but we got to be more careful than just being smart, because if we get too overconfident and we try to be over smart, we're just gonna lose time, and we're gonna lose the win. We're gonna lose the lead of the race, and that's not what I want. You can see we're starting to feel the tire wear now, and the engine is just getting worse and worse. And this circuit of the Americas, very engine oriented. You need a good engine to get you through the first section of corners, to get you down that long main straight. So yeah, you really need a good engine, and yeah, so not having a good engine here, not good for us. But you can see I'm just holding on through this first section though. In the penultimate lap of the race, I just lose so much time because these tires just don't have the grip, and I'm just not feeling confident enough with the car. You can see again, Vettel, he gets a run. We don't defend the inside through turn 11, but coming into turn 12, I have a bad feeling that we're really gonna have to defend as we get a good exit. You can see our engine is heating up right now. I don't really care about that though, because this is the penultimate lap of the race. This is where we gotta push it to the limit. You can see Vettel, he's gaining, but he doesn't gain enough. So that is very, very important for us, because now I just need to get this last sector right, and then we come on to the final lap. Hopefully we're gonna manage to stay ahead. You can see we get a brilliant exit. The gap behind has actually gone up a little bit. So yeah, now we're really in the groove. We're hanging on for our dear lives here, and I really want this win. We've defended throughout this whole race. We've done our best throughout this whole race. I just want to make sure that I can secure this win, and that I don't lose this win at the last minute. You can see we're being quite cautious actually. I'm not pushing too hard, but now you can see we run wide through, I think that's turn 8. We ran wide, and Vettel is all over our rear end now. He's in our slipstream into turn 11. This is going to be very, very crucial, because I hope he doesn't go for a dive bomb. No, he doesn't go for a dive bomb yet, but this exit is more important than ever. We use overtake mode. You can see you get a brilliant exit. The AI behind are stuck in the dirty air, and now we're going to use rich mix and overtake mode all the way down the straight, taking no risk here, just pushing to the absolute limit. And yeah, you can see coming into turn 12, I think we secured that position. That was so lucky, but yeah, we secured that position. We're gonna go into ultra hyperdrive really fast now, and yeah, you can see that Vettel tries to catch up, but he just can't catch up enough. As we're coming through the final corner, the checkered flag is out, and we're gonna win the US Grand Prix in season 1 of our My Team career, our second ever win in our career. Wow, that was just an amazing race. Our second win of our career. What a way to bounce back from that terrible race in Japan. I mean, finishing P7 is not what I want, but finishing P1 here at the US Grand Prix is just brilliant.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
I mean, P4 on the grid to P1. I mean, I got that done turn 1, and then it was just about defending, doing my best. I'm really proud of this race. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm really happy with how my defensive skills worked, and that my defense actually worked, and that I could stay ahead of the AI, who were really fast. They had superior cars. They were just doing so well, the AI, and yeah, it was quite difficult to defend, but in the end we managed to stay ahead. We managed to win this race. Yeah, I'm just ecstatic, that feeling that you won the race, especially after how bad last episode was. I mean, P7, P14 on the grid, and then P7 and the finish. It's just not what I'm used to now. I mean, especially after episode 16, when we won the race, I just felt like my standard, my expectations have gone higher, and that's why winning this race just felt so good. Podium pass, it's very, very close now. This is the real deal. It's really close. We're 1 point ahead of Max Verstappen now. And yeah, we're almost at the end of the rivalry. So we just gotta finish it off. I think by the end of the season, it'll be done. And yeah, good cash income. Although we didn't achieve the fastest lap in any session. I think I forgot to do that in the practice sessions. But yeah, it was still a very good weekend. We won the race. And yeah, it was a really exciting episode for me personally. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to F1ntastic Gaming for more fantastic Formula 1 content.